Rex Heuermann has pleaded not guilty to 2 additional murder charges. He's now been accused of killing 6 sex workers. Prosecutors unveiled disturbing new evidence they say was recovered from a hard drive in Heuermann's basement.
Joining us with everything he knows this morning, the man in the know. He's in charge of the investigation in Suffolk County. Suffolk County District Attorney Ray Tierney, nice to have you back on. Good day.
Nice to be here. Thank you.
So tell us, I know you've talked about DNA in the past and how it linked Mr. Heuermann to these crimes, but now there was a manual you found?
Yes. So with regard to the 2 new charges, of course, there is DNA, but we also found a planning document, which we allege lays out his motivation, his meticulous planning, and clearly evinces that he intended to kill these 6 victims.
Tell us more about the manual. What was on it? Give us a...
So basically, it was a planning document which he would break his activities into stages: pre-prep, prep, and then post murder. And then we allege that there were also things in the document, such as things to consider, things to look out for, supplies, and basically a how-to manual or blueprint for this type of activity.
Right. In this manual, he also outlined how to select, kill, and dispose of the victims, right? He wanted to basically change car tires, burn gloves, destroy photos of victims. So you took the photos of them as well?
Well, that's what the document says, yeah.
Have you found any photos of them?
We have not.
Okay. And concocting alibis and packaging bodies for transport.
Yep. And again, we allege with regard to the document that not only does it lay the planning out, but that planning was the same planning that was used to murder the 6 victims.
And I want to talk about the timeline here, because this really changes a lot of that for investigators. The first murder that you're charging here is now 1993. What we were looking at before with those original Gilgo 4 is between 2007 and 2010. The second one that you charge here is 2003. So this brings us back a very long time from some of these initial killings. 1993, Rex Heuermann would have been 30 years old. Then we have this 10-year gap in 2003. Do we know anything about what he was doing? Are there possible more victims between that time? And what does it mean to have this much extra time here that you'll have to look at?
Well, when we originally arraigned the case, we said that we were going to continue to work the case, that we were going to expand our investigation to beyond the Gilgo 4 to the bodies both on Gilgo as well as off. And that's the fruit of what we've been working on, because we have one victim, Jessica Taylor, who a portion of her body was recovered on Gilgo. Then we have Sandra Castilla, back from 1993, who was never on Gilgo.
And you found this hard drive within his house, and it was difficult to pull this information off because it had been attempted to be deleted, and you had to recover that information?
Sure. First, it goes back to 2000 or so, so you have to go back and get the software that was used for the hardware at the time. It was also deleted, so we had to use forensic tools to recover it.
And I wanted to ask you as well, I mean, when you talk about doing that search warrant in the house, some of what is laid out here in this manifesto, it appears that he's laying out plans for keeping these women captive in his house, the potential for torture in the house. And when you go back in, you're also looking for things like the panels that maybe have some kind of evidence on them, and different pins that may have been used. What are you looking at, and are you seeing that there may have been some captivity and torture in the house here?
So we're looking at a great many things, but if you look at that document, it talks about how tarps and plastic is laid in an area using adhesive tape or push pins. So of course we went back and we searched for that.
So essentially looking in the wall, because a push pin, he would have pushed it in there, allegedly, to have the tarp up. So you're going back in to see if there's evidence of that in the wall that would connect these things together.
Specifically signs of adhesive left on walls, as well as signs of push pins in the drop ceiling.
How could his family not know what was going on in the house?
Well, we've established with regard to the 6 charges, and these are just charges which we need to prove, but with regard to those 6 charges, we've been able to conclusively prove that the family was out of the state, if not out of the country, during the time of the commission of the crimes. So there is no evidence that, number one, that the family knew, or number two, that he acted in concert with anyone else.
Okay, what's next?
Now, what's next is we're not going to stop. We're going to keep on working. We're going to work these cases, and we're going to expand the investigation to the other bodies on Gilgo as well as beyond.
If I can just ask you, I know Valerie Mack is another one of the bodies that was linked but wasn't charged, but was linked in these latest cases. You've worked extensively with so many of these families, keeping them informed, keeping them in touch. And a family like Valerie Mack is still searching for answers. What do we know about what happened to her and the potential for charges with him?
Well, first off, you know, that's what drives us, you know, our ability to provide a little bit of closure for these victims' families who've, you know, suffered so much. So that's our motivation primarily. But with regard to, you know, Valerie Mack, there are a lot of similarities. So we have to continue to develop those cases, and hopefully we'll be able to speak through an indictment.
Well, Ray Tierney, Suffolk County DA, thank you so much for coming on.
I wish we had more time.
I
mean,
know.
there's so much to talk about with this case.
Maybe you should get him on. Don't you have that podcast?
Yeah, the tape room. We'd love to have you. Sure. But we'll have to get in touch.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much.
So much.
All the best.
Great
Don't leave
seeing you.
yet.
Oh,
Don't.
okay,
We're just going to go to a commercial break.
Sure.
We got some stuff to talk off camera.